Hi, this is Dina with Tarot to the Truth, and I am here to do the full moon reading for you to help you to negotiate the energy that the moon is going to be triggering in your lives. You're probably feeling it already. It is the full moon in Leo. Leo is one of the most expansive emotional charges. For those of you who have Leo as your emotional heart space, you're going to be home in this sign. February is a very appropriate time for the Leo moon to be shining bright on love. So you're going to focus on love basically this whole month. Loving yourself, being your own best mate and your own best friend is very important. Having that yin and that yang of both your feminine and masculine side, so you really find that balance and the giving and the taking as well for emotions. Make sure that you're not over giving and under receiving, but that you are both giving and receiving the same amount. So you're keeping it within that yin and the yang energy of the universe. So I'm going to just read a little bit here about the energies and what to watch out for. So Leo already because it's big. It is a fire energy from the astrological sign, and it is the sign of big, fiery, passionate love. So you really want to look at, where is your rising sign? Leo, where is Leo going to be in your houses? Is it your rising sign? Is it your first, fifth, or sixth house? And you really want to look at that to see where it is affecting you in what region and what things that you should watch out for. Leo is sometimes known as, although it is very loving, it's very gregarious in its efforts of life. So some of the things that you're going to want to ask yourself for, or make sure that you do not have, is signs of maybe overt selfishness, or overtly putting yourself first. Now that would be an imbalance, right? So whether you're imbalancing on the giving or the taking side, that's going to be more of the taking side. So some of the questions, you're going to seem very proud. That light that shines, that Leo light, that fire, that's that inner fire that we've been talking about, loving yourself. And that's good. That is not selfish. That is okay to be balanced that way. Bright and proud is okay. You should have that and exude that self-confidence and that self-esteem that you've been working on, and be proud of that. But what you want to ask about, are you too self-centered or egotistical? Are you treating others like minions or lower than yourself? Are you vain or arrogant? Now, I hope we all have a little vanity in ourselves to look good and to dress the part. I am sometimes a little theatrical. That also goes along with Leo. You might see some highly expressive people being a little overt in their reactions right now. That's that Leo fire, and just kind of know that you'll see a lot of big, gregarious, emotional, maybe even outbursts. Creative. You want it, that fiery passion. It's also very creative. So really try to feed into your creative sides. And again, looking at the houses, I'm going to give you some examples on the houses too, because I think it can be a little confusing when you're talking about astrology. I just met with a couple of my friends tonight, and they feel like sometimes it's Greek what I'm talking about. And so I was able to kind of go through their own signs. And so I'll give you a couple of examples tonight. We talked about the balance, and as always with the full moon, it is a time of gratitude, and that is the giving of your love, being gratuitous, and forgiving yourself. That is receiving the forgiveness that is coming from the universe, and receiving that love of knowing that no matter what you are or what you've done, that you are loved and you've received by the universe, by God. So these are the things you want to do. Write on a piece of paper 3 to 5 things that you are so gracious for and have so much gratitude for in your life since your last full moon ceremony that you did. And then the next thing is to forgive. So write down forgiveness on a list, and then you burn that too. Remember, I love, love, love the full moon ceremonies. I love the burning because my moon is in a fire sign. So of course I'm going to love the full moon phases. And so that is a good example. So let's say that So right now, the full moon is in Leo. So you want to look at your houses and see where Leo is in your houses, not your planets. So it doesn't matter if it is your sun sign or if it is your Venus sign. If you're looking at those charts, that is not the right one. You want to get over to your houses where it starts with the ascending sign and moving on down. So, for instance, if the full moon in Leo is in, let me just get to the houses here. Let's say that it's in your sixth house. Um, this is known as your daily work and health zone. This happens to be where mine is falling. And I think that I've shared with you guys that I felt like in the last couple of days, my body is really turning against me. Like it just all of a sudden doesn't want any junk food anymore. If I've eaten junk food, it's rebelling seriously against me. And I have felt like doing nothing but detoxing the last 2 days. Well, that's because the Leo moon is coming in strong in my daily work and health zone. So it's making me focus on my daily routines, of which were part of my goals that I set forth in the first part of January, and the routines that I have not been dedicated enough to, I think is probably the right word. Those things that I've not been so dedicated for, that is where I'm faltering. That is where my body is yelling back at me, and I'm listening to it. I'm hearing it. I don't know if I heard it early enough, but that is it. So the emotional alert for that, and you want to check that out so that you are prepared on Saturday and you're not overreacting. If you know where your risks are, you're going to be able to handle it better. So mine is that I will have intense feelings about what I do in my day-to-day living, and I might be a little fearful about my health. Well, I have not been feeling good and wondering if something was seriously wrong with me the last 2 days. Now I read this and it's like, whew, well, it's just the universe reminding me that you're not taking as good a care as you should be. So that is very helpful. Also, just a reminder for those of you, before you do any moon ceremony, like before I do any reading too, or I come to you with my videos, I use sage. I do sage. I am in the medical field. And so if I have worked with a lot of negative people, I will do a shower of sage when I come home. Just light it up. Just do some deep breathing and take it around your whole person down to your feet, just like you have just taken a shower of the smoke. Surround yourself with the sage, breathe it in deeply, exhale, and then walk away. You've just taken a sage shower. Wheatgrass is also nice. That's not always the best. My favorite, I don't think I have near here, is the Palo Santo. That's the smell that I love the most. Other things is to have some essential oils that you love. Put that on. Get deeply inhale that to clear whatever you like to use. So these are everything that I would do for the full moon ceremony. I also like to do some tarot cards. So I am just going to pull up a crystal spirit here for us today. We were working with the rhododendrite stone, which I think I must have taken that with me. It's a beautiful pink stone, and I was so enamored with how it helps to balance and heal PTSD and emotional turmoil that I went out and I bought it. So it was one of the stones that I do not have. I surround myself with stones that are very important to me at all times. I suggest that you do the same. Everyone in my family has a selenite wand in their homes to help to clear at all times, as well as I use it to clean my cards, clean my crystals. Anything I bring into my home gets cleansed by the wand or sage, because you never know what attaches to items and can come in the home. Also, make sure that you're feng shui in your home. Look for places where the air and the energy is going to maybe get caught or stagnant, isn't able to flow through. I walked through my house today and I'm like, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm home, I am off. I am definitely feng shuiing my home and setting up so that my health routines that I have been laxing on are back in order. Yes, my soul family is going to be much happier with me in the future. So, Crystal Spirit, just to protect us for this full moon ceremony, I'm pulling up petrified wood. Petrified wood. That is, did you see the circle on the top there? A lot of people say that the Devil's Tower in Montana used to be a tree. That is one of the conspiracy theories behind it. I've always been enamored with them. Never been. That is someplace that someday I have to go to. It's kind of in the middle of what looks like a prairie desert to me, so I haven't made that trip, but interesting. So this petrified wood is for patience, timelessness, patience and trust in universal timing, and going with the flow. Relationships, it is healing in process. You cannot force the conscious universe to operate at your preferred pace. You need to trust it. And that is what this is for. Petrified wood. A lot of people believe in the power of it. That's why some people make a spiritual journey to the Devil's Tower, because they believe that that petrified wood and the history, just like the Akashic records, petrified wood teaches patience and reconnection with the wisdom of nature. It can assist those who view the world as material-based. Meditation with petrified wood can also be helpful in exploring and clearing ancestral patterns carried in your DNA. Now, that is the most pertinent thing that I see in here, because right now is a time to clear your DNA and ancestral patterns. We were talking about clearing the blocks. This whole year is about that. Blocks is what holds you back from loving yourself. So if you feel when you go internal this weekend for this full moon ceremony that you still have some blocks, look to your ancestral DNA and try to cut those. Remember, we had the Archangel Michael with our Akashic records to help you to cut those cords and those bonds and to clear them from your life and from your energy. So hopefully this helps you to travel this gregarious energy of the Leo moon. This is Dina with Tarot to the Truth.